Oh,
You know,
that's
I
good.
maybe I should put out less chewy foods for you. I mean, I've got, if I think about it, look at it. I've got nuts, figs, apple, and we still have
I
the
can't eat an apple.
trail mix, the candy corn and peanuts trail mix from next door neighbor Nancy,
So good.
because I've only been eating it with you,
Yeah.
so we still have a little bit of that left.
And I just had a cookie too.
And we have to finish it before before Buttons makes us a new batch.
Yeah.
So, but you say like I go.
I can't eat an apple
Why?
because I can't bite. So,
It's the Krisha and Frank show.
Hi.
And today we're talking about Krisha's mouth, apparently.
so the most vulnerable part of me that I am embarrassed about and things that that bother me is I don't have any back teeth.
Yeah. See, I remember when we worked together in radio, you were looking at a plan to either, well, because we had dental insurance, or
Like, I want implant dentures is my only option. Like regular old people dentures or implant dentures.
yeah, I've seen. There's actually a place that I've seen.
They're about 20 grand for what I need done because I have to have all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
But to just like backstory, when I was younger, I had braces put on. Due to life circumstances, those braces were never actually taken care of. I got gum disease before I was 15, and that has unfortunately caused tooth problems my whole life.
So some of that, I mean, it's not your fault. It goes to your parents,
Right.
unfortunately. But we know that there's a backstory, like you
Right?
said.
There's no woe is me. It's just
Yeah.
life. But all of the top teeth are veneers.
Okay.
Okay. And I've had these veneers for 13 years, and they don't last a very long time. And,
It's time.
well, this tooth right here,
Yeah.
it chipped, like a piece of the veneer broke off about
Okay.
5 or 6 years ago. So I had a patch put on it. Like you go to the dentist and
Yeah,
they just,
I mean, I knew we were working together around that time period. I remember this.
so I had a patch
Not working
put on
together,
it.
but working in the same building.
Now that I don't have insurance, to get it repatched, if it ever should break, it's about $200. Just to go in, have them little boop-a-doo-boop. It takes 15 minutes.
If you know a dentist who would like to buy ads on the Krisha and Frank show in exchange, maybe a trade.
So
What do you need? An what's that called?
I need an oral surgeon.
Endodontist?
And
Endodontist?
something.
Okay.
But, so I had a patch. I paid about $200, had a patch put on. My dentist is fantastic. That's discounted. She's wonderful. They put the patch on, and unfortunately, when I was at dinner with my boyfriend and some friends the other night, on my only night off.
Having chewy foods?
No, I was having fried rice.
Okay.
The patch that they had put on just like slid off. And so it's my front tooth, and it
Is it there now?
no,
Oh, it's back. What's missing?
nothing's missing.
Oh, they put it back.
No,
They didn't put it back.
no, because I carry Gorilla Super Glue with me in my purse,
You are kidding me.
and I'll show you.
You are you are. This is
Here.
why you look at
No.
yourself in the phone in the
No.
camera all the time.
I'm coming around because I'm going to show you I do wonderful surgery. Ready? See here, right there. It chips and it cracks right there, and it's slanted. But when the patch falls off, I just super glue it back on
So that's why you carry Gorilla Super Glue
in my purse.
as part of your go-to.
Yeah, I have a small bottle of Gorilla Super Glue, and it's wrapped in a paper towel. So if this falls off, I have my little setup. I've got a Q-tip, and I spray some super glue on the paper towel. I rub it on the tooth, and I slide it on, and it stays glued.
This has happened then obviously more than once.
This has happened so many times that my friend that was with us at dinner the other night, he looks at me, and because I know I knew I covered up, and he was like, "Did your tooth fall off again?" I was like, "Yeah." And I went to the bathroom and I super glued it back on. It takes 5 minutes, and my boyfriend was like, "You can't even tell."
Do you ingest any super glue by
No,
accident?
every once in a while my tongue gets glued to my tooth. I have to work it off, and then every once in a while it glues to my finger as I'm gluing it to my face.
Oh.
And I'm sure I get a couple fumes, and that's in a myriad of reasons of the things that are wrong with me. But yeah.
Well, we did have a fun day when we went on our field trip together.
Oh, it was such a gorgeous day. It
Because-
was beautiful.
But we were in the car for hours, and you didn't mention. I guess you know what? That's the thing. We save it for the show. Everything we talked about
Right.
was like business, like
Yeah.
strategy. We're making these plans for the eventual Krisha and Frank
Right.
network of podcasts.
Right. Yeah. No. But to me, it's a passing thing, and it's embarrassing because I wish I didn't have to super glue my tooth on, but it's a lot cheaper than going to the dentist and having them redo it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's probably not the healthiest, but it's what I do, and it
Yeah.
works. And I have to be on stage, and I'm already self-conscious.
Yeah.
When we were at Genera and we were talking about my good side.
Yeah, we were at the Genera Energy. I hope you enjoyed that because we had some good. You would not think
It
that
was so
talking
much fun.
about fiber molded bedpans would be as funny as it
It was
was.
so much fun.
But we had a lovely time, and thank you to Sam and Brad down there and Deborah Malden for setting that up. But
Yeah.
but we went through this whole routine again, and I did actually, watching back the episode, remember from our previous podcast, or when it was when we did the stage show, when we did the 2-person improv, that you told me about, I have to put makeup on this
Right.
part of my neck or whatever it is you had to do.
And also,
And I'd forgotten all about that.
this side has one more tooth on my top,
So that's why that's your good side.
and then over here, I'm really self-conscious because you can like
So I sit on your bad side.
right. See,
Because,
look at it.
okay, because no one's supposed to
See
notice.
when I smile?
Yeah.
It's not cute.
But I get it now because no one will look at this side of the screen. In fact, I think we have photographic evidence that people put construction paper over my side of the screen.
Right. It looks like this.
Yeah. So that means they may also put it over that side of your face.
They might. Yeah. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, we got to drive all the way down to Vonore.
It was
It was a lovely day for it.
And you drove, and I love your new car.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with his car.
My wife wants one too now.
Love it.
Well, my son-in-law had one of these cars. He's got an old one. He needs to. It's time to actually. He's probably had it for 10 years. But I
Well,
thought
he wants to sell it.
I could get myself a one like that. This little itty. It's tiny.
Oh, it's bigger than my car.
Okay. Well, but it's the cheapest new car I could get. I wanted after having a car for almost 20 years to get a new car that had the Apple CarPlay with the hands-free. Da da da. And I had a job at the time, so I was okay. I could get a car loan.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy with my little car. So we were trying to figure out where along the path to Vonore could I
From
meet
my
Krisha.
place. Yeah.
So we're going through and you're going through. Well, there's a
I
kind
was
of
like,
a
I can leave my car here.
semi-janky parking lot here, semi-janky parking lot there.
Right.
So instead, I said, look,
I just came here.
I'm not that far. These semi-janky parking lots that you're describing are really less than 3 miles from my house. Would it be out of your way
To just park here.
to just park here at the podcast porch, and I'll just drive and we'll talk, and then we'll come back. And that was when got a little bit surprised because apparently Jerry had a half day at work, and I forgot.
Well, the garage opens, and Frank has backed up the driveway with the
Krisha's-
cool backup camera.
Krisha's car is in the driveway, so I'm, instead of going my normal path, which is basically back up to the fig tree and swing
Right.
backwards into my space, because I have to back in and Jerry has to pull in, which is the reverse of what we used to do it. In the old days, when I didn't have a backup camera, I would pull in to the one side, so the driver's door opens to the edge of the garage.
Right.
And Jerry would back in so that the passenger doors
Right,
can
so
be close enough together, so the cars have to park just close enough together that you can't get in and
You
get
park
out.
like cops. I call it park like cops.
Oh, okay.
When one's facing this way and one's facing the other way, you
Yeah.
can talk to each other.
Well, my dad used to call that mating. He said, "Oh, look at those cops mating."
Yeah, park like cops. And so you're backing up the driveway, and you're a good driver. I'm a little bit of a control freak, and so I don't often ride with other people driving.
My wife thinks I brake too late, and usually I let her drive.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It didn't bother me.
I was okay.
Yeah, you're
All
great.
right. I'm backing up the driveway, though.
You backed up the driveway, garage opens, and you're like, what the hell is Jerry doing home? I was like, she knows you're with me.
I didn't mean it to come out.
Anything.
I know, it came out sounding like we were having an illicit meeting.
You were like, what the hell's Jerry doing home?
Jerry knew that we had gone to Vonore together.
Yeah.
Clearly, she sees your car in the parking lot.
But it was just so funny. And so then you
I
had to
didn't
kind
know.
of...
I forgot that she had a half day at work.
You had to kind of remaneuver. And as you're backing up, I see on the ground of your garage, like random L tapes. And just there's tape.
One's on an angle, one's straight. There's three or odd pieces.
This is what it looks like in the backup camera.
Oh, you took a picture.
Because you and Jerry, and I'm going to say you and Jerry, but
No,
Jerry.
just Jerry.
has put tape in your garage
You know, like-
that is very specific, and you line up you line up your...
It's like a pilot. You want to look for the runway. You know, you want to look for the stripes on the
Are
runway.
you that bad of a parker?
Yes.
Are you?
Well, in this instance, see, here's the thing.
Okay.
Is I can get the car into
My
the...
favorite stories are the ones when you go, here's the thing. No,
I
please.
can get the car into the space, and I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
But after a year of this, a year or maybe
A year.
or maybe even more, Jerry says, "You know, I hate the way you park." I'm like, "What?"
I like that it's a solid year. A solid year of her, every time she gets out of her car, just...
She says, when I'm carrying, she's got, she brings this bag of crap with her to work,
As we all do.
and it's huge, and it's got her lunch bag in it, it's got her purse in it, it has, now that, sometimes she has to bring work home and do things, especially with the pandemic.
Right,
She had to bring work home and do things, and blah, 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 blah. And she says, yes, where you park too close to the wall, so that I don't hit her car, she says, the work bag is so big that it can't fit through the space
Oh,
between
so
my
she's
rear
having to,
view.
like, lift and...
So the work bag gets stuck on my rearview mirror.
Oh.
So sometimes I'll come out and my rearview mirror is folded up against the window. And I'll be like, oh.
Oh.
So one time, I guess maybe it was during pandemic time, at some point, she told me, she said, this is the way I want you to park. And I said, well, how am I supposed to know? Because she can do it. She just does it the way she likes it. So she gets out there with this white duct tape and makes these lines so that I can, using
The backup, the lines on your backup camera.
yeah, I'd line that up, and then I just, and then I'm good.
And when we got back, you were a little far over.
Because the one line is supposed to be my back tire. Mm-hmm. The other line is supposed to
the
be
backup
how
camera
far
line.
back I can go, so I don't hit the
The
what do you
freezer.
call it, the freezer. And then the one that's on the angle is the one that matches up with my
Like,
lines on my backup camera.
if this is something that you have done, because
Old people generally hang tennis balls.
that's exactly what I was going to say. My papa hung a tennis ball for my mama,
I don't know how to do that.
so she wouldn't ram her Cadillac through the side of the house. But
Okay, there is actually. Sorry, Jerry. If you move the freezer, there's a hole. And I said, I forgot how it got there. And she said it was her mom, Jerry's mom. Busted a hole in the.
about drove through your house.
Well, almost. Thank goodness it didn't make. It only made it through like that paneling,
Yeah,
like in the garage.
yeah.
It didn't make it to the inner wall.
Well,
But there's a dent in
You
the
know-
wall from my mother-in-law.
you know that my favorite thing, one of my favorite things, are stories about people driving through buildings on accident.
Really?
As long as no one gets hurt, like I'm not glorifying anyone getting hurt, but the idea of someone pulling into a bank or a restaurant and hitting the gas instead of the brake and just vroom, ramping it up into the First Tennessee, it makes me giggle in a really inappropriate way.
One of the best episodes of Everybody Loves Raymond
Uh-huh.
is the one where the car comes crashing in through the living room.
And it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thought.
It's a terrible thing, but the beauty of that episode is you can use this when you're talking about comedy and character development, is you automatically assume that it's Ray's father, Frank, who has, and this is ironic, by the way, my grandparents' names were Frank and Marie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So every time that show would come on, I'd be like, what? But
Everyone assumes it's him.
but then he gets out, Peter Boyle gets out of the passenger side, and the audience goes ballistically nuts because the characters are so well developed. We now have extrapolated that, therefore, Marie is driving, and that changes everything about
The
all the rest
whole
of the characters.
dynamic.
So,
Yeah.
all right. Now, if someone drives through your garage,
Or you need a 2-car garage.
yeah, that's what you need. You need a nice, big, wide garage so that you don't necessarily have to tape your mark down. Like it's like I'm on. She said, "Well,
so
you're on.
great.
You can hit your mark on stage."
Can we see it again one more time?
You should call Hutch and Howard. Is where I was headed with that.
Yeah, hutchandhoward.com. They've been in business for over 10 years. They've sold over 100 homes just this year.
They'll probably sell this one. So I don't plan on moving anytime soon, but who
Well,
knows?
you never know. But also, if you're looking to sell your house or buy a house, they can help you out. They're all over Knoxville and greater Knoxville area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that referred to yesterday. The greater Knoxville area.
The GKA. Mm-hmm. Well, they changed that on LinkedIn. They had to send out a notification saying, now from now on, you're going to be known as the greater Knoxville area in your bio. I'm like, okay.
So that means Athens.
Yep. Morristown.
Vonore.
Vonore.
Yeah.
That was nice. Greenback.
Greenback. Yeah, Greenback was fun.
Yeah, and all the places.
Downtown, north, south.
Yeah, so wherever it is you need to be, call Hutch and Howard and
Take it away, Adeem.
I forgot to give the phone number is 966-5005. Keller Williams Realty, each office independently owned and operated.
If you're buying or selling your home, trust a professional, don't do it alone. From the sunflower fields to the Sunsphere Tower, there's a knowledgeable name. It's Hutch and Howard.
I started dancing again, or nodding.
It's Hutch and Howard.
By the way, if your company has a jingle, you should buy an ad.
Yeah,
Because we love. Well, I've obviously got the way to.
I love it.
If I can put in a picture of my
Adeem is cool.
garage. I can put in your jingle into the show.
And I love that, they're using someone local for their jingle. That's even more important to
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Like, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you know? I know your house is haunted.
Yeah.
And this house, I don't think is haunted. I don't believe it is. But my wife was talking about decorating it for Halloween.
Yeah.
See, to me, that's a lot of work.
It is.
Like when it's just the two of us, I'm like, I'm barely like, why are you bothering with Christmas decorations and Halloween decorations and all these
it's
things?
nice.
Yeah, but she works with our friend Sam and his mom.
Oh, Mare?
His parents, Mare and Lair.
Yeah.
Well, my wife and Mare are
Jared Mayer.
yeah, they're friends and they work together. And Mare is a decorator.
She does not mess around.
In fact, I think when Jerry told me that Mare had decorated the office or house for the holidays, I assumed she meant Valentine's Day because Mare's always way ahead of schedule. Right. Mare is one of these ones where the Halloween decorations will go up in July, I assume, and then and immediately I assume they transition, I guess, to Christmas and then to whatever. She's one of those people. Mm-hmm. She wants to put the decorations up too early, and then take them down too early.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right? So so I think it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Well, my wife was explaining to me that the Thanksgiving and the Halloween decorations are really the same. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what do you mean by that? She says, well, you put out basically the fall decorations, the Thanksgiving decorations,
And you add some little
and you add a layer of Halloween on it.
Right.
So I said, what do you mean? Like you put the pilgrims,
Skeletons.
put the pilgrims in a skeleton costume, or you put the pilgrims in something else? She said, no, they're in a pilgrim costume. Like, what do you mean? She says, no, they're going as pilgrims for Halloween. I'm like, okay. And then what happens? And then on November 1st, they become Thanksgiving pilgrims. But it's the same. It's the same pilgrims.
Could you make one of the pilgrims a ghost and put like a little...
Yeah, I would imagine. You just get a little tissue.
A little pirate hat for the other one?
Yeah.
A little patch?
Yeah. Actually, that would be fine because they already got kind of a,
Yeah. Well, yeah, do it.
That's just silly.
But exactly. It's silly.
All right. And then I guess what you do is you have a pumpkin and you put on like stick-on jack-o'-lantern features and you just peel them off on November 1st and now you've got a
Happy
pumpkin.
Thanksgiving. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you decorate well, you've got a new place, so you don't know what you're going to do yet.
I haven't done anything, but I love to decorate. I love
seasonal decorations.
Yeah.
It's work though.
I did buy a very small wreath at Goodwill, a little fall wreath.
Yeah.
And I bought some fresh flowers at the farmer's market.
Mm.
And they're very
I mean,
fall-y.
I like Christmas and I like Easter. I like the holidays, but just...
I like the holidays. I like the holidays, but the tedium.
You have to carry... I mean, I don't...
You just don't like it because you're the one that has to do the work of carrying it.
I don't always do it. Sometimes Jerry does it. A lot of times. I mean, I'll carry up the heavier...
Do it. It's 2020.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We could just let this year go. We could just skip...
As previously stated in another episode, I don't care. If I want to eat cookie at 9 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm having cookie for breakfast, that's what I'm going to do. If I want to decorate for 6 stinking, oh, I almost said a word. If I want to decorate for 6 holidays at one time, I'm going to do it. So do it.
All right. Now,
Go extra silly.
the Christmas decorations
Uh-huh.
are in the basement, and they're in the Nook.
Ooh.
We used to have. I mean, I don't know what was down there.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's a finished-ish basement. Frank Jr. used to live down there. There's a bedroom down there.
All right.
Because the couple who had this house before us, they split up, and the husband lived in the basement, and the wife lived upstairs.
Oh, all right. Sounds like my parents.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently they.
I mean, they didn't split up, but my dad and stepmother don't sleep in the same room.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got sleep apnea, and he sleeps with a CPAP.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those are loud, right?
Yeah, I'm
Annoying.
pretty sure it would bother my stepmom to the point she might step on his hose or something. I don't know.
So there's a
Just
bedroom
saying.
downstairs, and then the 70s shag blue carpety crap and this other and the
Yeah.
paneling. But there was this space, this nook area, and we had a breakfast nook from Burbank. That was at Ekbunk, my wife called it. I don't know what that means, but
don't
she said it
either.
was a thing. And we gave it to Frank Jr. and he has it now. And it's his
He's got the
it's
nook.
his breakfast or his dining room, kitchen table, whatever it is. So that space then now has been taken over by the big organizers from the giant Tupperwares that have all the Christmas decorations in them. Well, my daughter said that's where we should build the podcast studio. There's Orange Cat. He's back.
Oh, where is it?
He's over there trying to get a sniff of Louie next door. But
Come here, kitty.
so I guess if I move out the Christmas decorations,
I'm sorry.
and maybe if Megan, if you and Brian can come visit at Christmas time while the nook is empty.
I see what
Okay.
we're doing.
I
All right.
see. All right.
All right,
We
go.
have a
Let's
plan.
Yeah, let's talk about evacuating your nook. I'm gonna go pet the cat. Kitty. Come here, Frank's
Did I ever tell
kitty.
you about the time? What?
Frank's kitty.
I had to
come
evacuate the
on.
nook of a bovine one time.
Get out of here.
That's true. It was a radio bit. I put on a glove and you had to go in there and you had to. I'll tell you that story another day.
Okay.
It's the Krisha and Frank Show. Please go ahead and send us an email at krishaandfrank@gmail.com. Send us $1 on PayPal.
Yeah.
Or you can buy an ad, or you can listen to us, or you could share. You can help us get to 1,000
The
subscribers
best thing you can do for us is share.
on the tube.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks. Be nice to people.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Bye.
Kitty. You have a cat. I'm gonna go get it.
Come again.